Kim mentioned, "You mean I need to pretend as a guest lecturer in the college?" He was stunned, hearing the plan from his best friend and partner Jimin. "Taehyung, this is important for us. Now we need to find those culprit who was using our name and selling those nonsense in that college." He was certain that Taehyung wouldn't agree. He did do this thought. He didn't agree. "It isn't easy as it sounds, man. Lecture under me. Can you imagine?" He shrugged, looking at his face in the mirror. "For God's sake, look at this face. It suits only to be as a gangster, the mafia boss." He traced his jawline, wondering and searching for a trace of a lecturer look. "You are as well-educated gangster. Among us, only you graduated, and somewhere you are the reason for building up this empire and also the underworld." Flipping the Jimin made him look. "You will push me inside garbage one day," he muttered, signing. "Man, it's you who is running an empire to the outer world. You are the Kim Taehyung CEO, Kim industry, the whole business world run behind you." Jimin tried to convince him. Well, it was becoming quite difficult for him to convince his best friend. God knows what will. He decided. The final decision is Taehyung. Taehyung made his way toward the bed, settling, looking at his friend pacing around, trying hard to convince him. "Can you believe someone black sheep inside us in doing this disgusting job? Dealing in college and human driving idiot." Anger in Jimin's voice made Taehyung fume. "Excuse me, even we do the same." His sarcasm in his voice made Jimin glare at him. "We do not kidnap innocent, only the wrong and deserve and kidnap. But here they are kidnapper girls and selling them. Not only that, at that time, still you do not want to know that betrayal." The question look on Jimin's face made Taehyung to mark his emotion. This is the same racket where they lost their only sister. Even if Jimin was his friend, Taehyung considered Jimin's sister as his. Now he knew why Jimin was hyping about it as much as usually he doesn't get angry on for those little things, but his anger was making Taehyung curious on in this case. "Jimin, I understand, but how can I teach those kids, those crack who behave as if they own the world?" questioned Taehyung in confusion. It was obvious for him. He is a gangster and a ruthless businessman. The underworld fear him, and now he is being asked to teach college kids. "Taehyung, we will figure it out now, no matter what," he said, holding Taehyung's shoulder, looking at Taehyung's gaze traveling on every side except his, making Jimin think twice about his decision. "The final decision is yours, Taehyung. I'm nowhere gonna force you," he uttered, making his way out of the room. Taehyung huffed his breath, flaring his nose. "This man will make me a clown someday," he muttered under his breath, making way in front of the mirror again. "Lecturer?" he questioned, looking straight in the mirror with the crooked eyebrows. "Wine," he called, straight near the entrance of her class. "Brother," she turned, stunned, looking at her brother right in front of her. "Brother." Her friend were astonished, seeing a handsome and a perfect businessman in front of. Tutoring was not what one expected from her friend, but unfortunately she was reborn with them the same. Can I have you for a moment? He excused before dragging her toward the entrance of the college, where a whole series of a black cars were parked in order. The heavily bodyguard standing in their black suit and a gun which in their handle stood another man standing in between the whole troop of the bodyguard with a shade on. The blue suit matched his shade, and Smith was still on the same place, his lips. Dad, she whispered, looking at him. It's been 2 years since she saw her father and her brother. 1 second, everything in her face was white. Her longing, love, and happiness. What are you doing here? She questioned, snatching her hand away from Brotherhood, standing in front of his stained book and her arm crossed. It's the way you greet your dad, sweetie, he questioned, the man removing his shade. And you are not only my dad, she told, turning the other side. When he sounded strange looking at his sister. Should I tell you also? Okay, you are not my brother. Her tone leaks with anger. When he shouted, seeing his sister's indifferent behavior. Chin, he cut off him, seeing his son ready to burst on his sister. Sweetie, get ready. We are here now. It's gonna be difficult for you to chase us, he told with a smile still playing on his lips even after seeing his daughter anger. Why is your killing it list complete? Oh, did you clear your case? She questioned, still being angry. When he sighed, now you know how much I love you, right? Leave the anger and come to daddy, baby, he requested with a longing in his eyes. It's been 2 years that he saw his daughter, spoke to her and hugged her. He was terribly missing his daughter. This time he was sure for not leaving his daughter. And you also know I hate your profession, the gangster, she cried in the air, annoyed. Well, now it's sure that you are not gonna listen to me. I just came here to inform you that 2 of my bodyguards will guide you, as now we both are gonna live with you, and no excuses. Mr. Kim told being strict at the last part. He didn't give her the choice to deny his order, not even hearing pleas or daring tone. He left stealing in his car. Remember one thing, Winnie, you accept it or not, I am your brother, he told with his jawline creasing. You cannot change the fact that I am your brother and the man inside in your father. He sounded like a big brother ordering his little sister. See you at home, Cupcake, he smirked, using her nickname, which she used to love but now hated. Her glare made him run toward his car. Jungkook, you saw Taehyung, he asked, coming in searching. No, I didn't see him from morning. He shrugged, flipping pages of his latest fashion magazine. Jimin, which college it is? Taehyung coming, all ready to go. St. Xavier College. He was in a daze looking at the man in front of. Never in his dream he ever imagined his friend in this professor look. Jungkook was gaping at Taehyung. His magazine long fall down on ground. Yes, okay, I took some of your management books, he informed, correcting his hand button near his fist. Who are you? He asked through dry was asking the question. Don't be silly, Cook. He waved his hand in the air. Soon he was enveloped in a warm hug by Jimin, who was in an ant cloud seeing Taehyung. Thanks, man, he whispered in Taehyung's ear, making him smile. Now get off me. With a difficult, I brought this look. Don't spoil it. Now he waved his hand. Taehyung, don't forget, remember, there You ain't the king, you are just a lecturer. Be humble and respectful. Most importantly, keep your temper on control. Don't make people reach hospital there also. He advised him immense care because he knew they might lose his temper easily. Gotcha, he turned, swearing him through his hand and left the living room. He is Taehyung, only he asked with the most innocent face. Don't act too babyish. I know you, shut up and leave to college now. Act as if you don't know him in a college, he ordered with a little raise his voice. Yes sir, he saluted, leaving a chuckling Jimin behind. You come here, ordered a couple of students, praising trembling student. He pointed toward him, asking if him. Yes, you come here. He ordered the guy in front. Yes, he asked with an innocent face, melting anybody except these few. They knew these crazy college kids who don't know what life is, how life is. So you are new here, ain't you? He questioned a guy inside. Yeah, he adjusting his glasses and clutching his book to control the smirk. As you are new, you need to perform something in front of us. Otherwise, touch his feet and go. The one there order. What is the need to perform? Just touch my feet, salute me, and go, declared the man, cracked. No, I won't, he said freely to maintain what Jimin said. Oh, so you are denying. How dare you? Do it now again, command the side one. I said I won't, he said with a little raise. Look at him raising his voice. You bloody moron. The main one came attacking by the swing his hand in air only to become catched by the one. Don't you dare, Sugar, she gritted. Why instead of this? His jaw clenched in anger. No, she shouted. From the moment Taehyung settled, seeing the anger in her eyes for the first time, he saw a woman in anger and full of self-respect. Till date, for the woman he saw threw themselves on him for his money or body, nothing more, but she was strong, unlike the other woman. Don't you know? Ragging is against the college rules and law, she said in a anger shooting Suga hand. Go to hell with your rules, girl. He taunted, moving ahead, going to them, but cross. She in the process, trailing, asking him to pass her. Then was still looking at her with the open, wide eyes. Move away, he shouted, trying to push her. He succeeded, pushing her, making her land on the ground. Taehyung was immediate to go to her, but unfortunately Suga held his collar, stopping him. This is Tron raised the temper. Taehyung tried to suppress for the sake of Jimin, but looking at this, he didn't think that would be possible. First, this useless boy demands something, irritating him, and next he pushed the girl who stood by Taehyung and against Suga, the last one clearly increasing his temper. Now isn't impossible if the guy front ended up on the hospital. Taehyung would be punched directly on his face, but he didn't. Hear Wine voice. Suga, I swear I will complain to the principal right now. Back off, she shouted, dusting her chin. I will see you, he muttered, dashing her and left with his gang. Are you okay? She asked, looking at the side was following the retreating gang. Yes, he muttered, his temper, the first time in his life to answer a girl. Which class are you? The tone she spoke melted him for an unknown reason. Anyway, she waved those bunch of idiots today. If she wasn't there, those idiots would have ended up in the hospital the first day. No, I should first meet the principal. He sounded low and light. Okay then, come, I will walk you, she offered, moving forward. No, it's fine. I will manage. He tried deny. His heart was already running a marathon. She stay with him for some more time. His heart will jump out of running ahead. There is no guarantee those donkeys wouldn't appear. It's better to walk you there. At least I won't feel guilty for leaving you alone later. She didn't turn back while talking. Thank God, is what he thought, seeing her not facing him, otherwise his face would be clear picture of amusement and daze. What's your name? She asked, jingling in her black leather sling bag while walking. Taehyung, he told, still looking at the girl who was just made his throat and brain numb. Okay, she muttered, still not looking at him. Here you go, she turned face him finally. By now he somehow come out of the daze and flying zone to earth. So I will take my leave now. See you. She waved, going on her way. When he asked, immediately making her stop on her track. When destiny pull us, she shrugged him. Your name only Taehyung knows how he controlled to pull her and not leave her hearing destiny pulls. Taehyung, just Taehyung, she smiled, turning on other side and making way. This time he didn't have a reason to stop her. It's okay, he rubbed his left side chest. Wine, he whispered, and immediately his heart beat fast and good morning, sir. The whole final year stood up wishing the principal coming inside the class. Good morning. He waved them to take their seat. As you know, your management lecturer, Mr. Sen, has passed away. Unfortunately, so from now, one course will be taken over the guest lecture till the end of the semester, he declared, standing on the cycling lifted area. Hustle bustle were going on about the new guest lecturer. At least bother was. Wine was sitting silently away from her brainless classmate whose day start with the money and end with the money. Please welcome Mr. Taehyung, he announced, and Wine snapped her head, looking at him who was walking instantly with a different aura on her could see. Sugar face paled, looking at Taehyung. Did he by any chance rag his lecture? Oh shit. One smirk, looking at Sugar and him looking here and there in fear. I will take my leave now. Thank you. The principal uttered, leaving the class. Taehyung note, looking at the principal leaving. He gazed up at the classroom, which was a total mess of the severe dirty papers, magazine lying down. It was a mess. Now he has to bring this class on track. He signed, looking at the whole bunch of the boys who ragged him. I am giving you 2 minutes. The next second I want this class clear and neat. Otherwise, do not forget I have your attendance marks now. And you also forget writing your final exam. He sternly shouted, making his way toward the teacher desk and leaning. You are starts now. In a blink, Wine found her class neat and tidy. Where was this man before? She thought of him being her innocent junior, but now he is her lecturer. Damn. You get up. He pointed to a Sugar who was looking here and there. Me, he asked if he was the most innocent creature on the planet. Yes, you. Up, he ordered, swinging his finger. Define management, he asked, looking straight at Sugar. Management is a process where you manage your life, thought, your lips and down. Even if your girlfriend break up with you, He blamed the answer, making the whole class laugh out loud. Get out, he snapped in a second, not thinking twice. Suga made his way out. Next, he asked the one who asked him to touch Sugar feet few moments ago. It didn't take Taehyung in surprising the other one leaving behind Sugar. The whole bunch of idiots left the class facing Taehyung want. She whined, looking at her wound. Sitting on the bench, she heard some clearing their throat. Turning back, she found Taehyung standing there first kid. Good afternoon, sir. She raised up, paying her respect. I think you will need this. He settled beside her. I thought you didn't know. The seeing your behavior in the class, she taunted, talking her mind. That's one trait which he liked in her. Maybe just like her, instead of answering her, he took her elbow, training and wound which was caused. The Sugar pushed her down. Sudden urge of styling Sugar, not a good neck, came rushing. How dare he, screamed his heart, looking at the wound. Tell me one thing, why don't you talk with your classmates? Even I saw you sitting alone in the desk, not with your fellow classmate, he asked in a curious, divesting her from the wound. Now what to tell? Those are fake troop of students. They do not come here to study, but each and every nonsense. Those girls come to college as if they here for a ram walk and all walk like a model with those tick heels. She signed, writing to him. Tick heels, he asked with a small smile on his face. Yeah, didn't you notice their 6-inch heels which those models wear in a fashion show? Those are called tick heels. God, how did they wear that walk? Now those girls taunt themselves as a model walk, only I know their true side. Shameless, she was endless talking about her class girls, making him chuckle as well as looked at her adorably. She pouted lovely while telling the way she spoke. Emily pulled life every day at the end, attracting him strongly. Not to forget the Sugar, she nodded her negatively, and he who was finished attending. Sugar, he asked in a confusion, not knowing the person. Yes, the one who ragged you, not knowing you were a lecturer, and also the one you sent out of this horrible answer. She laughed loud. Remember his management definition. Her eyes was too, in fact, to heart, making his feet loudly. That donkey is such a playboy. He didn't even leave a single girl in the class. Each and every girl behind him, the flirt with every girl, and also often after a week he leaves them as if they were tissue paper. Her face was a clear example of disgusting, making him stretch his nose. Her non-stop talk, endless battering, pulled him more toward her. Maybe destiny is pulling them together. The bell made them realize that they were talking a very long time. I will take a leave now, he raised, making his way. One face fell, seeing his behavior. Lecture mode on, she whispered to herself. Fortunately, Taehyung here. Inside campus and class, I am your professor. Outside, you can take me as whatever you want, he told strangely, still maintaining his eye composed. As my friend, she immediately asked in excited, who was extremely happy and excited to find him as her friend. Friends, he whispered, making her smiling like a fool. Himself, if someone would have seen him, they were sure to think of him as a clown and idiot. She jumped up and down, finding a new friend who was different from other. Taehyung gazed back in amusement, looking at the crazy girl. Crazy whispered to himself, smiling. Days passed, months passed. These two behaved as a best buddy of the college and strict student professor inside campus. At the time, the buddies in them fracture in the college, which did not good for both of them. When classmates and their gossip are inseparable twins, it hit the whole class like rolling fire, ready to burst. Not that Wine cared about Taehyung did. He didn't want her to fall in any trouble because of him. The reason of his pretense as a professor is only known to him. The least was Wine getting inside the web of underworld, and he knew her classmates are not less than jerk, a bunch of nonsense idiot who do not see anything except spices of gossip. Jimin and Jungkook found a new Taehyung, laughing often, talking politely, not forget the smile placed on his face while leaving the college. What surprised Jimin was downward curves of his lips while he returned home. As a day they could find his temper. One of days, Jimin and Jungkook were become more skeptical about a sudden change in his behavior. One left hand blow while tricking the bodyguards. Her dad set up Taehyung at the first phone, knowing their presence, but then Wine ensured did the one work. Within span days, he knew she was a little baby by heart. The closer he saw, the closer he got about her, an adorable baby. How much ever they pretend to be best friend, okay, but from his side he did do improvement in his heartbeat, still harming his ribs once he found her honey brown eyes invading his eyes closed. Only he knew how hard and difficult it was to suppress the urge of kiss on her, those intimate lips. It took good amount of self-control to keep his hand with himself each time he found her close to him.